fun.
Okay, I just sailed the Punt for the first time with the new sail. I call it the diamond lug sail. It's a balanced slug with a square top. It did really well. I was very impressed with the shape of the sail. I don't have any issues with it. I mean, considering the fact that it was made from a tarp and it was hand sewn, I think it did really well. There was no twisting at the halyard position, so the sail was pretty balanced. So the Punt shape is not ideal for a sailboat, but it worked fine. All the improvements that I made to the Punt, Shuttle Punt number 2, will make it a better sailboat. So there's rounding in the front and the back. There's a shallow V in the front and the back. The stern is not as rounded in the back. So the issue that I had with the shape of the boat as it exists now is that there was too much rounding in the stern. So when it got up to when the wind was blowing 20 knots and the boat should have been accelerating past 8 miles an hour, it was lifting a bunch of water into the air.
That's a problem right there, all that water shooting up.
And this would not happen if you bought plans for the Shuttle Punt 2 because it has a flatter stern. The stern is basically at the water line as opposed to 2 or 3 inches above the water line. So, so anyway, I'm thinking about rebuilding the back half of this boat so that it'll still be a fast paddle boat, but it'll be a much better sailboat. All right, let's move on to the AMA. The AMA worked really well. The disc was, for some reason, the disc was not angled upwards 5 degrees. I think there was a lot of twist in the crossbar, and it had something to do with the weight distribution or the buoyancy that caused it to the front to flatten out. So the disc was not doing anything to create lift, not at that angle. It was like literally about 2 degrees, which is not enough. You need at least 4 to 6 degrees of incline, and so the disc was not working, but that's easy enough to fix. The lee board worked really well. There were no issues. The mast step box worked really well. The rudder was so I was planning on mounting my camera to the bow, doing a bow cam, but part of there was like a threaded knob that fell off while I was bouncing down the highway. To do all video by hand. So what I did was I made adjustments to the lee board so that there was no pressure on the rudder. So the pressure on the rudder was neutral, and I put a bungee on the rudder, and so if I let go, the bungee would hold it straight. And if the lee board was vertical, the boat would turn. I think it was wanting to turn away from the wind. And so if the boat wants to turn away from the wind, that means it has lee helm. So what I did was I angled the lee board forward, and after that there was no pressure. It was totally neutral. So I could hold, with one hand I could hold my phone, and with the other hand I could hold the main sheet, and I could go like this with my elbow and make little adjustments on the end of the rudder with my elbow, and then go back to sailing. I didn't capsize, nothing broke. It was a really good day. I'm really excited about Shuttle Punt 2. I think it would make a much better sailboat. All the changes that I made to the hull would make it faster. The outrigger was really good because I could paddle on both sides of the boat. It didn't require more than one crossbar, so there was no crossbar in the way of a paddle. The sail, remarkably, it had a lot more power than I thought it would, which makes me think that maybe this 54 square foot sail would actually power my wing moran. At first I was thinking, I need at least 75 square feet, but it had a lot of power. And the only thing keeping the boat from accelerating was the stern being too curved.
That's a problem right there, all that water shooting up. Yeah, the front of the boat works really well. The stern is not working as well.
And the AMA kind of digging in too much because the disc wasn't creating any lift because it was too flat. So I'm very impressed with the sail, considering I made it by hand and it's still not perfect. There are some areas of the sail that still have some work that needs to be done to make it more smooth. But overall, it was a success. The sail works. I'm going to fine tune it, and then I'm going to order a sail made by a professional. And I might do away with the luff pocket. I don't know yet. It might be too early to tell whether the luff pocket is a hindrance to the airflow. It all depends. I mean, if you have a luff pocket that's nice and smooth, like a windsurfing sail, then it works. I've actually sailed with rented windsurfing equipment, and it just wasn't tightened or stretched the right way, and the sail had like almost no power at all. It was just so it was crazy. Yeah, I was sailing on Ocracoke, and just there was something wrong with the sail, even though it had a luff pocket, but so everything has to be fine-tuned. The sail needs fine refinement, but I'm very confident that the square-topped balance lug, the diamond lug as I call it, can be a very powerful sail. The thing that I like about it the most is it flattens and adds area to the top of the sail. Oh yeah, that was the one change that I thought it needed, is the batten could be a little bit thinner to add a little bit more curvature. But yeah, I mean, there was a lot of power in that sail. I was surprised. And that is my report.
Sail looks good.